What's up, everybody? Paul here from the Hoops Crew, and Geelong are through to a prelim final once again, the 10th in 15 years. It feels pretty bloody good to be a Geelong supporter, but let's not get too carried away. There is more business to be done. In the meantime, though, let's pick through the 38-point win that the Cats had over the Lions this Friday night. Here are your final scores. Geelong 16 goals, 16 after some very early inaccuracy. I think we were 4 goals, 11 at one point. Finished 16 goals, 16, 112 against the Lions, 11, 8, 74. We can scratch 3 goals off the Brisbane total there, thanks to some gimmies provided by the umpires for some absolute BS, as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure as pretty much all of you are concerned, probably any Brisbane supporter who's even stumbled onto this video would have to agree that the Cam Rayner one in particular, the first one, was an absolute joke. But let's get into it. And actually, as we can see here from one of the articles they're linking to, the league has conceded they made an error when it came to the first one. About time the AFL apologised for something. But anyway, there's your margin, 16 goals, 16 11, to 11, 8. Geelong getting the job done. Let's pick through the worm here. And it highlights what was very clear and evident. I was at the ground. I had a fairly obscured angle. I was kind of sitting right against the race. Apparently, I'm visible on TV on a few different occasions. So yay me. But the worm, really highlights what we could see throughout the game here, which was that Geelong never really had any concerns. Some inaccuracy kept Brisbane in it. And again, we were 4 goals, 11 at one stage there before we piled these ones on to create a bit of a margin before the Cam Rayner bullshit kicked in. But Geelong really, they didn't take some opportunities early, but ultimately controlled the game and got the job done pretty comfortably in the end, with a bit of time to put the cue in the rack and look after some players at the very end as well. This gradual build throughout the game, bit by bit, extending the margin quarter by quarter. You love to see it. Well, sorry, except for the second, I suppose, but you love to see it. We extended in the second as well. Winning every single quarter. It was a fantastic effort from the Cats. Very, very proud to be a Geelong supporter right now. But as I said, there is more work to be done. Before we get into the weeds with this game, dissecting the stats, the player stats, and more, let's take a word from our sponsor.
The Hoops Crew Media Network is proudly sponsored by Cyril Cook Florist. Visit them at shop 1211 Leather Street in Breakwater. Phone them on 035 222 2244 or visit their website at www.cyrilcookflorist.com.au and use the offer code GOCATS in the voucher field at checkout to get 20% off your next online purchase.
Thank you, Cyril Cook Florist, as always, for your ongoing support of the Hoops Crew and all we get up to. Now, let's pick apart some of these team numbers, because at face value, you go, maybe, Brisbane were just unlucky. A lot of handball, and Geelong's pressure was extreme. We're going to look at the tackle numbers soon, and it was highlighted. Any 1% of stats and those sort of things as well would further back this up. That Geelong's pressure was so immense that Brisbane butchered the ball by hand constantly. And their kicking numbers, like their disposal efficiency, not too bad, because we're in the end, holistically, in fact, higher than Geelong's, because there was a bit of chip mark stuff that Geelong was happy to just let them play, because eventually they'd have to come through the middle, and we just shut them down time after time after time. The handball game of Brisbane's that worked very, very well against us at GMHBA completely fell apart due to Geelong's immense pressure, and we got the job done pretty comfortably. Our efficiency inside 50 was fantastic. Brisbane's not up to standard. Again, it all fell over. The disposal was the thing that really took the hit as a result of Geelong's pressure, and we'll work towards that. The free kick count, inseparable in the end, but the umpiring was atrocious, especially around 3 that led to Brisbane goals, 2 for Rayner and 1 for Kai Lohmann. The hit-outs, Darcy Fort, to his credit, did a pretty solid job in the ruck for Brisbane on the night. Mark Blitzarves, an undersized ruckman, was then quite useful around the ground, having a really great game, but we'll talk about his numbers more soon. We've got our clearance figures, which was favouring the Cats. Again, this is kind of the reverse to what we're used to. We're typically better a stoppage clearance team than we are centre clearance, but got the job done there against a top-shelf midfield. When you've got the likes of McCluggage, who was very well held by Oisin Mullen, Neil, the Ashcrofts, and more cycling through that midfield, to be able to come up on top, almost doubling the number of centre clearances is a huge testament to what the Cats did around the ball. And I think Mark Blicavs, again, had a lot to do with that, because as soon as the ball hit ground from that ruck contest, he sharked it. He did a fantastic job all around the ground over the course of the night, supporting the core midfield unit of Bailey Smith, of Max Holmes, of Tom Atkins, of Paddy Dangerfield, and everyone else who moved through the midfield. He was huge in giving it an extra genuine midfield body around the contest, as opposed to a big lumbering ruckman that Darcy Fort is. Contested and uncontested, again, like we indulged Brisbane and let them have their chip mark, because as soon as it became a contested game, they fell apart and Geelong thrived. Turnovers, I'm surprised actually that Geelong have got as many as they have. And the Brisbane's was as close to their average as it is, because it looked far worse for Brisbane, just the eye test. Possession, reflects what we could all see, that Geelong really dominated around the ground. They controlled the ball. They controlled the contest. They were far more effective with ball in hand. They maintained the possession when they got it, as opposed to getting ball, turning over ball that Brisbane did so much over the course of the game. But this is where I really want to hone in on. The marking game from Geelong was huge, especially inside 50, which is enormous considering there's a bloke called Harris Andrews up that end of the ground. He was fantastic for Brisbane. Don't get me wrong. I think he was probably Brisbane's best player on the night. The poise, the control of his own body that he had, he was probably Brisbane's best. But to Shannon Neal's credit as well, he made him work. There was no easy contests. He was not able to easily rebound, as we know. He wasn't able to spoil the ball down and then go charging onto it like he normally does. Shannon Neal made him earn it, made it a contested play, and obviously won a few of them, lost probably a few more, but I think he played a pretty good game in kind of keeping Harris Andrews' impact in check somewhat. Marks inside 50, 21 to 6 is huge. Contested marking, great as well. The goals, we've spoken about the scores. Brisbane leading for only 3 minutes in the game, and they were pretty much in the first few minutes. Geelong's tackling pressure, I think we had like 51 in the first half. It dropped off in the second half as the game became out of reach for Brisbane. But the tackles inside 50, and this has been one of the big stats for us all year, is that we've been able to lock the ball inside 50, and we did it again last night, I should say. Max Holmes probably contributed all 9 of those bounces. He loved getting on a gallop. The 1% stat looking pretty good for us as well. And that's all we need to look at there. So let's quickly shift over to some individual numbers here. We'll hone in on our Cats and sort by disposals, just so we can get a bit of a snapshot as to what was going on here. It's finals football. Possession count tends to go down a little bit through the finals as the game gets hotter, more contested, and more stoppages. And that was reflected for both teams. But looking at Geelong, it meant that the likes of Bailey Smith and Max Holmes, who've been our top 1 and 2 every single game, they were down on their average, but no less impactful. Both were exceptional on the night. Max Holmes in particular was absolutely phenomenal with some wonderful breaking plays, lots of good clearances, goals, assists, all sorts. He was huge over the course of the night. The one that slipped my radar from where I was, and because he plays the wing and he just runs up and back and up and back, and I was on the opposite side of the ground to him, was Ollie Dempsey. Rewatching the game since, absolutely astounding effort from him. Obviously, the wonderful Lionel Messi style goal was something to marvel at, but the way he navigated the ground over the course of the night was something I couldn't really pick up as effectively from where I was seated in the ground. But on TV, oh my God, it was sublime watching him move through the contest, the way he positioned himself around the ground to stretch the ground in a bunch of different ways. There are some things here, despite being the lead possession getter for the Cats, there's quite a number of things that he did that won't be recorded here statistically. That were absolutely fantastic. He is, what a marvel he is. Upon the rewatch, my best on ground. Max Holmes, like I said, did a great job. Tom Stewart, top 3 on the ground for me. Absolutely phenomenal the way he was like he's been back to the Tom Stewart of old for the last probably month. And you can see he's just in really good shape. And of course, that goal and the Cheshire Cat grin that we saw when he took that amazing mark against the Dogs all those years ago, the grin that was ear to ear across his face when he kicked that goal, he was absolutely delighted. You can see he's really enjoying his football again, and there's no better time for him to be finding some exceptional form than right now. So very, very happy with him. Bailey Smith, I've touched on already. Mark Blicavs, I have as well. And add that 1 goal to the 26 hit-outs and 20 disposals that he got was a fantastic performance from him. Brian was really impactful, really handy disposals over the course of the game, but also somewhat subdued effort in the end. He's getting there. I think it was a really good game, and I think he'll work his way further into this final series as time progresses. Danger, you just couldn't lay a paw on him. Whenever someone tried to tackle him, he'd shrug them free. And again, leading to that amazing messy goal from Dempsey before, it was Danger shrugging off Gardner and ducking under the contest, and launching the ball inside 50 right onto Ollie Dempsey's toe. He was huge over the course of the night. Just couldn't tackle him. Brad Close, really important as well. 1 goal, 18 disposals, and a lot of really effective plays, both things that will be recorded statistically and just, little taps and all the things that he does so well to link players together. He did a great job of that over the course of the night. Tom Atkins with the defensive pressure, continuing to show why he's the now record holder for the number of tackles in the AFL, full stop. Jack Bowes played really well. So I look through this and it's very much the team effort. Sean Manor was fantastic. He was my BOG because of some of his exceptional plays, the inside 50s, goal assists, score assists. He was huge throughout the course of the game. I've changed my mind in terms of my BOG once seeing the game in full, but he's there with Tom Stewart in in place for 2 or 1 vote from me. Zach Guthrie, really impactful. A shame about the second free kick that he gave away to Cam Rayner, which was a bit more forceful and maybe there. Not the first, though, so we should never have gotten to this point. He played a really good game. Lawson Humphreys, really impactful and really clean with his disposal. Jack Henry, couldn't get past him, was exceptional on the night. Jeremy Cameron lit it up early. Didn't really carry it the whole way through. And, I mean, what if he'd just been a bit more accurate in the first quarter? It could have been anything. But he was fantastic as well. Tyson Stengel, buzzing around, looking really good. Had a shot on goal stolen off him because of the Cam Rayner and Oisin Mullen. And Mark O'Connor play behind the play, a 200-metre penalty, essentially. Had a potential goal stripped from him there, but he's still been a bit wobbly around the sticks, playing really good football, though, otherwise. Connor O'Sullivan didn't look daunted by the occasion whatsoever. Sam De Koning, really, really important. And when Geelong had been missing constantly through that first half and we needed a circuit breaker, it was him that popped up in that second quarter to kick the first of 4 back-to-back goals from the Cats in the second quarter, and just incredible poise, rock solid in defense. It's taken a while for him to kind of rediscover some form this year, but a bit like Tom Stewart, it's all coming together at just the right time. Very, very happy with Sam's input. And obviously he did a little bit through the ruck as well because the need was there. Oisin Mullen with his first career goal. You absolutely love to see it. It was a phenomenal moment for him. Everyone in the ground knew it. Everyone cottoned onto it really quickly. The celebration was enormous. And it was, when you're playing these big sort of finals games, something that really sparks excitement is super important. And he had his moment at just the right time. So congratulations, Oisin, on your first goal, and congratulations on the phenomenal job that you did squashing Hugh McCluggage on the night. Shannon Neal, as I said, had opportunities. Obviously, kicked 1 goal, 1 in the end. Could have been a bit more impactful, but also did a really great job of nullifying Harris Andrews to an extent. Really taking away. Harris is so good at not only intercepting, but then being one-on-one bodying a player, but also being able to rebound. And Shannon Neal really took his rebound out of the game, and limited the number of intercept possessions that he got over the course of the game, and allowed the other blokes to get involved. His bodying work across the game meant that Danger could float in, that Jeremy Cameron could float in, that Ollie Dempsey could float in. Lots of really great work from Shannon Neal that will not be recorded statistically speaking. Please give him some more credit. It was a good game. Lucas, I'm looking at you. And Jai Clark came on for 2% of the game at the end there. Fantastic kick directly down the throat of Tyson Stengel, which unfortunately he went on to miss. Would have given Jai Clark a goal assist with the 2 minutes or thereabouts that he spent on the ground. A lot of questions obviously about him as the sub. Didn't really get to confirm or deny whether they were the right call because the game was well and truly over by the time he stepped on the field. But with the time he spent, he was useful. So congratulations to Jai Clark on his first final, or first 2 minutes of a final. And that is it. Those are the team numbers. That's your summary. Geelong getting the job done. 16 goals, 16, 112 against the Lions, 11, 8, 74. And as I said before, the umpires have already conceded that they made an error in giving Cam Rayner that first goal. which would have probably killed the second one off as well. Absolutely ridiculous, the decision in the first place. And that umpire should not be umpiring this final series going forward. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this video. Make sure to check out Post Game Live if you haven't already. Ben did a fantastic job with that one. The Paul James Show will be back on Monday, where we'll also break the game down into much smaller pieces with you, the community, live. So go check that one out as well on the YouTube channel. If you've enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe. Get the word out there about all of the awesome Hoops Crew content. And if you want more of it, go to our Patreon. There are exclusives, early access content, and extended content there for you to consume. And it costs only $5 a month to get that delivered to your email inbox. There's also a 7-day free trial to see if it's for you. In terms of socials, you'll find me at Paul James Games. That's Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram. The Hoops Crew is at the Hoops Crew. And until next time, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning into this video. Congratulations to the club. 38-point win. We're off to a prelim where we'll be playing either Adelaide, GWS, or Hawthorn. Very much looking forward to it. Terrified about the idea of it being Hawthorn. There's some PTSD bubbling up there. But I look forward to joining you and talking about that game in due course. Remain Geelong strong, everyone. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you later.